So DD2 is the final bit of track action today here at Genk in Belgium, and we've got another 11-lap race to look forward to. And of course this again is still crucial to decide who will be starting at the front for the DD2s. At the minute it looks like Martin Mortensen, but of course he's got this race to compete in, and of course there's a few others around him who have already taken part in their other races. So it's all going to be about how many points you score, or how lower points you can score, to get yourself your best starting grid for tomorrow. The way the grid lines up for this final race of the day is going to see Kevin Ludi to start once again from pole position. He was good enough for second in yesterday's qualifying, and of course quickest from his groups as well. Alongside him on that front row is going to be the likes of Dula Ruahai. He's going to be out there looking to get a good performance. He's had two very poor results so far, so it's now or never for Dula to get the best result of his weekend. Next up on row 2 we're going to see the likes of Luca Kamali, the German, who lines up alongside Jordi Livins, who is here on home soil this weekend. Another Belgian to add to the ever-growing grid of DD2 competitors. And then on to row 3 we've got Martin Mortensen, as we said, one to watch out for. First win in quite a while for Martin, I think it's fair to say, after stepping up to DD2 for this year. Alongside him on that third row is going to be Philip Sewer. Then on to row 4 we've got Marco Gudler, the German, and Lucas Bartosuk again, who has taken a win earlier on today. Alongside them, or just behind them on row 5 I should say, is Oriol Danmu Caballero, who had a poor previous race, failed to get underway at all after the kart failed to start, so he pulled off. So let's hope the kart's all fixed and ready to go this time round. He's got Maxi Fleischmann alongside that 5th row. Row 6 then sees Patrick Weinstock. Alongside them on row 6 is Dennis Kroes. He was the quickest Masters from yesterday in the qualifying session. Row 7 sees Marius Ruhr and Slavomir Moransky, again from the Masters class. Row 8 is then going to be Tim Verelst, with Richard Faulkner alongside, and then back to row number 9 is Frank Kanshar after his season kart yesterday in qualifying, and Ilja Aloskins round out the grid in 18th place. That's how the DD2 grid comes together. There is the man at the head of it, Kevin Ludi. Can he potentially be our pole sitter? I think he's got a little bit more work to do, but you never know. The ones to look out for are definitely Lucas Bartosuk and Martin Mortensen. Kevin Ludi has a potential. I think Mick Versoffer is definitely out of it now. Of course, he's got 7 points. Depends. It does depend, to be fair, but he has an outside shot, I think it's safe to say. And then Jordi Levins, Harold Garkaklis, Maxi Fleischmann and Frank Kanshar are all there within the top 8 on the grid. But of course that's going to change once these drivers have completed their race, and we'll give you an updated pre-final grids once we go through the start of this DD2 one. They work their way down towards the final corner on that front row. As we said, we've got Kevin Ludi and Dula Ruahai, one of the ways you want to say it, and he'll be there on that front row. Second row is going to be Luca Kamali and Jordi Livins. So 11 laps of DD2 action for the final time here on Heats Day. It's finally got us through to the 18th race of proceedings, and thank you very much for staying with us online or here at the circuit. We're about to find out who's going to start the pre-final from pole position. Very slow to the grid there for Kevin Ludi. Are they going to get the start? A little bit of a bump there from our second row man, Luca Kamali, but they finally do get underway down towards the first corner, and nicely snuck into second place. There goes Dula Ruahai. He gets his way through into that place. Then we've got Jordi Livins up into 3rd place. Luca Kamali did lose out slightly there, not the best of starts for him. He's dropped down to 4th, but it is Kevin Ludi who leads the way in towards turn 4 on this first occasion. Let's see now what can happen behind, and more importantly, if Martin Mortensen can find his way through. Here again was a little bit bulked in towards that first corner because he was stuck behind Luca Kamali, so I fear he's going to be down towards the lower regions of the top 10. In fact, he's there on screen now. You can just see him working his way through the left-hander at turn 7. He is down behind the kart of Luca Kamali by the looks of it in 6:07 for CRG. But here come the leaders back towards us for the completion of the first lap. In towards the right-hander at turn 10 they go. A fairly good first lap for Kevin Ludi. Good fight for 4th place as Luca Kamali is under pressure from Martin Mortensen, who needs to get to the front as quick as possible because time will start to run out if he wants to grab himself pole position for the race tomorrow. He turns through the left-hander, still glued to the back of Luca Kamali by the looks of it. On towards turn 4 he now goes. What can he do at turn 4. He can get down the inside, I can tell you that. And he works his way now onto the back straight into 4th place. And also Luca Kamali is under pressure here from the German, which is Marco Gottler, who again goes through. And in fact, no, there's a retaliation there. Luca Kamali gets back ahead of Martin Mortensen, who then again gets back ahead at turn number 6. He squeezes him wide, and yes, he gets the job done. So Luca Kamali was up and down the order there like a yo-yo. He wanted to be ahead, then he had to settle behind, and now he's under attack once more from Marco Gottler in towards the right-hander at turn 8. They go. More moves being made there. Watch out for Frank Kanshaw, by the way. He's going to be working his way from the back of the grid, and so far he's got himself up into 13th place. I think that was the dive we saw from him down through the entrance to the grandstand. Good battle, a little bit further back from the lead, as we can see, heading down towards the first corner, and that's a big lunge and maybe contact between the two. That was Philip Seawer coming through on Lucas Bartosuk by the looks of it. Lucas manages to hold on to the 7th place, just about, although there was a charging Philip Seawer coming barreling into the side of his cart there, but he manages to get everything settled down in 7th and 8th places. So they head their way onto the back straight. There goes our leader, Kevin Ludi, through turn 6. He's got Abdullah very close to him now as he heads down towards turn 7. Abdullah Rawahi, who pushes on, just 0.3 of a second back for now. Geordie Levens has come through pretty quickly as well, just 0.4 back from the top 2. So it's a 3-way fight for the lead. Then it's a further second or so back to Martin Mortensen in 4th position. And then behind them in 5th is Luca Kamali at the minute in cart 607. But let's see what our leader can do about defending from Abdullah Rawahi as he goes down towards the first corner. Can he get the move done? No, he can't. He gets closer though. The gap comes down to under, or just over 0.2 of a second there, although Dulla did a best lap of the race, 55.790, and Dulla will now try and get past Kevin Ludi, not at turn number 4, although he'll set himself up nicely onto the back straight. Let's see if he can unleash the power down at turn 5. Again, not quite close enough to do so, but he's got to be wary again about Geordie Levens, the Belgian, who sits right behind him on track, and again he'll be looking at every opportunity to get past Dulla. They turn their way out of the hairpin down towards the right-hander at turn 8. There's the fight behind for 5th place at the minute, which is Luca Kamali, Lucas Bartosuk, and also Marco Gottler is in there, along with Maxi Fleischmann and Philip Seawer. And then just a few places back in French Kanshaw has dropped out of this race by the looks of it. I think he's had a slight mistake, and he has not come through at the end of that previous lap. He has dropped way down, and also Oriel Danmu Caballare was a non-starter from that race, so a few people suffering. Is Frank on track? I don't think he is, so this could be another bad run for Frank. He in fact is now coming down towards the 8th turn on the track, so he is now way behind. I think there may be a problem with that cart as well. A change for 5th place. Luca Kamali has been passed by Lucas Bartosuk. They switch places onto the back stretch. They work their way down through turn 5. Again, they've got company from behind. Marco Gottler, the German, and also the Maxi Fleischmann cart is in there as well, not too far adrift from them. Is also Philip Seawer, and a change for the lead. There goes Dulla Rawahi through in towards the lead of the race. Now he gets the job done on Kevin Ludi. This could shape things up as well. Of course, it could give us a different order in terms of the starting grid for tomorrow's brief final. It's going to mean there's a joint tie at the minute for 1st place between Kevin Ludi and Mick Vishofer, but all dependent on who gets the better result will mean who starts on pole position. For now it's Kevin Ludi. If he loses one more place though, he could find himself on the outside of row 1, and that's not a good place to start, especially for a point scoring race for tomorrow. Good scrap there going on for 5th place, headed by Lucas Bartosuk, although that now changes. In fact, it had already changed. Luca Kamali was back to the head of it, and Lucas Bartosuk got himself back through. In fact, Marco Gottler has got through as well into 5th place, so it's all changing, and Kevin Ludi has lost the place as well for 2nd because Geordie Levens has now gone through. So changes are plenty towards the head of the field, changes are plenty in the middle of the pack as well. Again, we're not too sure which way to look at the minute. We've only got one TV screen for you. We can only show you one battle on the track, but we'll focus on the one for 2nd because Kevin Ludi is looking to get himself back in towards the order once more, which is all important. I'm sure he'll know just about what he needs to do in terms of a good grid position for tomorrow, and more importantly for the pole position. So he looks down at turn 1. We are over half race distance now. 5 laps remain, or just under, within this race. Still, it's going to be Dulla Rawahi that leads the way. 2nd then for Geordie Levens. 3rd place is right there with him, Kevin Ludi. Now goes for the challenge once more at turn 4, and Kevin Ludi goes through, although the fight back comes once more. Inside line should be perfect down at turn 5 for Geordie Levens. If he can be brave enough, which he is, he goes back through and picks up 2nd place. Watch out for Martin Mortensen though. He's all of a sudden come right into the mix now for this second place fight. So Martin Mortensen is near enough there. Car 6.37, you can just see on the back of the shot there. And can he get himself through on Kevin Ludi? If he can, he'll get himself ahead of Kevin Ludi on the grid. If he can get up 2 places, he'll get himself possibly to pole position. So this is crucial again for Martin Mortensen to get through. So many tantalising scenarios to try and work out, and we can only take one of those at a time at the minute. Kevin Ludi again tries for the move on Geordie Levens, and there he goes down towards the inside at turn 1. He has then got the nice line through the left-hander at turn 2, and with him he takes Martin Mortensen for good company as well. So second and third has changed. Geordie Levens drops down to 4th, Kevin Ludi goes to 2nd, and Martin Mortensen makes more progress from where he started on the grid, which was down in 5th place. 2 places gained within this race so far. Behind them, look out for Lucas Bartosik. The battle continues there. Marco Gottler has also got himself onto the back of Bartosik, and Kamali was trying to look through there as well. Martin Mortensen still under attack from Geordie Levens. Kevin Ludi is 2nd, which should mean he's back on pole position for the pre-final. So if he can hold on to that, that'll be good news. And Martin Mortensen will flick up into, in fact, I think he was down row 2. And again, importantly, the inside of row 2, which will be good news for him. But Kevin Ludi, in fact, now is not on pole position as of yet. He needs to get up onto the, and no, he does, it flicks through. Just changes at the last minute. Hawaii is still the leader of this race. Kevin Ludi is 2nd, 3rd for Martin Mortensen, 4th place for Geordie Levens, 5th place for Lucas Bartosik, 6th place for Marco Gottler, and that's going to have to change as well up the back straight down towards turn 5. We've got 5 cars all together there. We've got Luke Kamali in there as well, Maxi Fleischmann, and just towards the back in 6.13. Anyone making a move that time? Not by the looks of it. They'll stay pretty good. And there goes Martin Mortensen for a challenge on our second place man, Kevin Ludi. So a great job there done by Martin to get himself up into 2nd. And this could be crucial as well to get himself onto pole position for the pre-final. But Kevin Ludi is going to try and fight back down towards turn number 1. They cross the line in towards the right-hander. They'll now go. And again, Kevin Ludi fights back. Martin Mortensen gets shuffled further adrift. Geordie Levens tries to come through. There's going to be contact if they're not careful. Martin Mortensen just about found enough room to squeeze through. And again, he holds on to 3rd place. Hopefully you're all keeping up with this race so far. Lots happening towards the front, which means positions are changing aplenty for now. More positions changing a little bit further down. Marco Gottler has now made his way back up into 5th place. Lucas Bartosik is 6th. 7th is Luca Kamali. Maxi Fleischmann is in 8th, and 9th place is Philip Sewa. And just to mention the Masters, it's Slavomir Maransky who leads that ahead of Aloskins and Dennis Kroes down there in 15th place overall. So that continues. This fight for the 2nd place battle continues. Still a good lead here for Duller, who now finds himself a 2nd, maybe a little bit more this time round up the road. They go through onto the completion of another lap, and we've just got 1 more now to go. The gap in fact grows to a few more thousandths of a second, so not much at all changes that. Kevin Ludi here is still holding on to 2nd place, and more importantly, pre-final pole. If Martin Mortensen can just move up 1 place, he'll get pole. They are all tied at the minute on 7 points after the 3 heats. So Martin Mortensen for pole needs to get through. Kevin Ludi to have pole needs to stay where he is, although it could all change with Geordie Levens coming into the mix as well. There goes Martin Mortensen for the change to make it a 2nd place for him. So Martin now gets back ahead of Kevin Ludi. Geordie Levens is just behind in 4th place. Has a brief look over the shoulders, does Kevin Ludi, and he knows now he's probably out of the running for pole position. It's going to be a front row start for Kevin, but this man, Duller Rawahi, comes through the final corner up towards the line, and Rawahi goes through to take his first win of the weekend as well. 6 different winners from the 6 races in DD2, exactly the same as the juniors. So what a day it has been so far. Just show again, everyone wants to be towards the front, and that could give us a real battle in tomorrow's pre-final and final. But Duller Wahai comes through for the KMS team, 1.1 seconds ahead of Martin Mortensen, who has now guaranteed himself pole position for tomorrow's pre-final. We wouldn't have thought that before the weekend started, but Martin Mortensen has done a grand job, steps up from seniors to DD2. Through behind that, 3rd place for Kevin Ludi, 4th place for Geordie Levens, 5th place then was Marco Gottler, 6th place for Lucas Bartosik, 7th was Luca Kamali, 8th place for Philip Sewa, 9th place for Maxi Fleischmann, and 10th place, first of our Masters, was Slavomir Maransky, and then behind that 2nd was Dennis Kroes, and 3rd place in the Masters class was 6.43, which was that of the kart we saw there of Elja Oloskins, so he comes through as pick up third in Masters. But what a race that was. Again, not too much happening out front with our leader Dalla Rawahi, but behind that, of course, it was a good fight for second, which saw Martin Mortensen come through in second ahead of Kevin Ludi, and Geordie Levins, the home man, gets a good fourth place solid finish to his day.